Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to a brand new week and a brand new episode of 5 Minutes with Phil. How are you today? I'm so glad that you've joined us. I'm so glad that you're with us, and I pray your weekend was good. In fact, why don't you let us know? You know, the comment button there, that's there for a reason. And you can send us a comment, let us know who you are, where you're watching from, how your weekend was, how things are going. Whatever you want to share with us, keep it nice. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. So please feel free to use that option, and that'd be a blessing to us. Now, we're going to go to a book of the Bible that I think sometimes some people like to avoid, and that's the book of Job. Now, the book of Job is all about how a very righteous man by the name of Job was tested by the enemy to try to give up on his commitment to God the Father. And a lot of things happened to Job, and a lot of really negative things. And God brought him out of it. And as the book of Job is coming to an end, and as Job is mentally kind of looking at kind of a recap of what's been going on in his life, he comes to chapter 42, verses 1, 2, and 3. And I want you to read what he says. Take a look at this, okay? It says, "Then Job replied to the Lord, 'I know that you can do anything, and no one can stop you. Lord, you asked, who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorance? It is I. And I was talking about things I knew nothing about, things far too wonderful for me.'" Interesting retrospective there, right? That Job gives. And I probably have to be reminded a lot that I don't know everything. I don't. And I also need to be reminded sometimes that God knows everything. Everything. And especially when I go through stuff, whether it's like really deep water like what Job went through, or maybe it's something not nearly as devastating, but still difficult, right? And everything in between. Okay, it causes us to, I think, question some things, especially when it comes to God. And we have a lot of why questions that we throw at the Lord, and we wonder what's going on, and how can you, and then you just fill in the blank. And then we find ourselves asking ourselves about God's wisdom and how he does stuff and why. And then we're reminded, and I love this, Job said, "I was talking about things I know nothing about." I mean, I love that. I love that. Job says, "I didn't know what I was talking about." And I love that brutal honesty that Job had after his trials and after his difficulty. And I would ask you today, if you're facing a storm of some kind, or a difficulty, crisis, however you want to label that today, could I offer you an opportunity today, or suggest that you take an opportunity today to evaluate your perspective on God, and realize that there are, plain and simple, a lot that you don't know. And you don't know God's plan. You're not sure of the reasons why. You don't know the how or the what. But you do know God. And I want to remind you today that that's enough. And that's hard. But if we are honest with God, we could actually be liberated quite a bit emotionally. Liberated from having to figure God out, because he is a God that is so far above our comprehension. So to avoid talking about things I don't know anything about, things that are way too wonderful for me to even understand, God would say, you know what, just trust me. You don't have to know my reasons. There's enough in my word, but you can know me. And if you know God, that's enough today. And let that be liberating for somebody watching this today. All right, I got to let you go. I hope that blessed you. And I pray you have a wonderful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you next time, okay? We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.